Aloha, good morning. This is Caron Davis of Caron Realty International, and just wanted to send a lot of thoughts to everyone out there, and we hope you're staying safe with all this rain. I know it's very trying right now to have this rain again, and it seems like it's getting heavier, and I believe it will stay with us all weekend. So if you do need any help with vendors or recommendations, please feel free to reach out to us. We work with a lot of contractors and people who absolutely deal with emergency situations. Today, what we're going to talk about is the scarcity-driven market. Seems like, just the other day I was doing a search for a new client of homes over $3 million, and I believe in East Oʻahu, there might have been 3 to 4 homes that were available. So we've always had this inventory shortage. But before I go there, let's just review last month, what happened in February. I'll just share my screen here. As you can see, the screens, that we had quite a healthy sold for a single family home, highest price for nearly $9 million. And that was a home that was on the water in East Oʻahu, gorgeous home. And highest sold condo, a little under 12 million. And that was a Park Lane, one of their premium units with a garage and a private yard. And it seems like there was 2 more of their properties going into escrow just this week at Park Lane condominiums in Kaka'ako. And the condo board here was a Japanese corporation. So it'll be interesting to see who bought the other 2 higher end Park Lane in a few months when it reports. If you look at the single family home statistics here, the sales were up 25% from January. And also the price reductions were down. So it seems like, the home sale prices are definitely getting more in line with what the buyers are willing to pay with single family homes right now. And this, of course, is the highest sale that was on the waterfront that I had mentioned earlier. And wonderful, gorgeous home in Nua Beach in the East Oʻahu area. And that home originally, though, was priced in 2024 for a little under 12 million and had a few price changes and sold for 8.85 million, as I've mentioned. Moving on to the condominiums now. If we look at the condominiums, the median price was up and the highest sold was a little down from January, but still healthy up there. And closed sales were down. But when you're dealing with numbers like 7 sales and 11 sales, it doesn't take a lot to make it 36% down, of course. And here's the statistics for the condominiums. And then, of course, like I mentioned, the Park Lane unit, absolutely stunningly gorgeous there. But moving on to, I was going to mention the, scarcity-driven market. What is happening? What do I mean by that? Well, right now we're in a very, as I mentioned, we're in a period of very low inventory across Honolulu, actually, especially in areas like Diamond Head, Kahala, Kailua, Hawaii region, even the top buildings in Kaka'ako. I know one of our Japanese agents is looking for a specific unit between 3 and 4 million, and it's just not available. And what we're finding is when a home is truly well positioned, it's creating what we call a very a quiet auction, actually. Now, it doesn't look like an auction. There's no frenzy, no big public bidding wars, no chaos, but behind the scenes, it's very competitive. What's happening is buyers are watching closely with their agents. They're touring quickly, and they're waiting for the moment that the property feels right. And when they do, they move. And they're not competing in the traditional way. They're not negotiating aggressively. They're not trying to win on price. They're competing through strength. Clean offers, strong deposits, flexible timelines. Recently saw this property where, they had like 5 offers on the property, and, they chose a property that was probably one of the cleanest offers. But what I'm also finding too is if those home inspections aren't coming out clean, they immediately cancel the contract, these buyers. So it's definitely worth putting backup offers in right now. Most of the buyers in the luxury market today, they're experienced. They've often missed out on a property before, and they understand that the best homes don't come around often. So they really don't fool around when the right home comes along. So when they see something that aligns with what they want to, live in, they don't hesitate. This is really being driven by scarcity. There are so many great properties, whether it's a Diamond Head rim lot or a Kailua Beach home or a well-positioned property in Kahala. And many of these homes are held for years, even decades. But so when one becomes available, it attracts attention very, very quickly. For sellers, this is very important because the opportunity to attract multiple strong buyers, but only if the home is positioned correctly. And we've mentioned this many times in our talks here over the weeks, that it truly is becoming more apparent in this market we currently are in. And this means, pricing it strategically, preparing it beautifully, and creating an experience that buyers connect with. When those elements are in place, the market responds, and often very quickly. For buyers, the takeaway is just as important. Waiting in this market doesn't just impact price, it impacts opportunity, because the best homes aren't sitting, they're not lingering, and sometimes they're not even fully publicly presented before they're spoken for. The wireless communication in this community is very, very small, and we know who to call to find out, is a certain home going to be coming up in an area. So while this market may seem calm on the surface, underneath it is still very highly competitive. It's just happening quietly. Homes come on the market, they've sold within 3 or 4 days, or some homes don't even come on the market. And, and understanding that dynamic, whether you're buying or selling, is really the key to making smart decisions right now. What we find, because in Hawaii, luxury isn't just about real estate, it's about how you live, a whole lifestyle that we love, how we live here in Hawaii. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed that. And to finish our talk today, I thought it'd be nice to look at the different rainbows around the island, as there's so much rain. And of course, that brings out the rainbows. And as you can see, just absolutely gorgeous. And I forget how special they are. Just a month ago, I had friends in from the mainland. They were just so taken back by the beautiful rainbows we have. Well, with that, stay safe, have a wonderful weekend. Much mahalo, and we look forward to catching up with you next week.